Listen, blog, watch, share, Break London.
It is Saturday, London. Hello, my name is Samuell Benta. Now, for those of you who do not know who I am, well, first of all, you just heard my name. And secondly, I'm an actor, writer, director, and producer. And this is my first ever radio recording to you guys on Break London. And I have to say, this is a very nerve-wracking experience. And there's going to be quite a lot of things that I'm going to be discussing with you, not just on this show, but pretty much every show that I do. Now, I'm a very deep person. I can get very controversial. I may insult a lot of you, but hey, don't take it personally. I'm just trying to put on a good show, okay? So, more about me. I've got an online show. It's called About the Mackenzies. You can catch it on YouTube. And at the moment, I have in the studio with me a talented individual. His name is Knux. And I have known this guy for quite some time. Too long. In fact, I've known him since like primary school in year 3. Yeah, that long. So the topic we are actually going to be talking about today is web series. Now, why web series? Well, if you think about it, web series is growing at such an increasing rate. There are many web series online, like myself, all about the Mackenzies, and we just want to talk about what the reasons may be why there is such a huge stampede towards this subject called web series. So anyway, Knux, you know what? Tell me about yourself, tell me about what you do, and let's just get this show on the road.
Well, just to keep it, thanks for allowing me to be the first person on the show. Like, I deeply respect that and appreciate that. Basically, story of Knux is started off as a musician. Saw there was a gap in the market for certain things in the West London area. Tried to fill those with camera work, studio services, and now having a little bit of acting as well. Then I did a bit of work for Grime Daily, a bit of work for Choice FM. Met a lot of people, a lot of connections. Met The Rock. Had to put that out there. Met The Rock.
Yeah, you've met a lot of people. I've seen pictures with you with Ludacris, Wiz Khalifa, loads of people, man.
Loads of people. Kendrick Lamar. Emily Sandé before she blew.
Wow.
Who else? Ghostface Killer. That was one of my favourite people to meet.
Oh wow, man! You remember them Wu-Tang days, boy,
man.
with that Triumph tune. Oh, definitely, my days.
Definitely. And but yeah, so that's all happened over the last 2-3 years. I finished uni and then I went straight into like my own business, which I recommend most people should do because obviously there's a lack of jobs these days. But yeah, so that's basically my background. And yeah.
Oh, cool. And I have to throw this one in there, London, yeah. Knux was late. I had to wait for him outside Stratford Station. Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah. No, I had a taste of my own medicine there. That was the granddad from my show. But yeah, basically he was like 25 minutes late. I was out there. No, he was 25 minutes late. I told you to wait at 12. I said get there for 12:20. You show up at 10 to 1.
Yeah,
and then he wanted to go to KFC.
Fashionably late, bro.
Then he wanted to go to KFC, but he styled it out. And then he said, "Do you want anything?" I said, "Nah, it's all right. I don't."
Yeah, I knew you wasn't gonna want anything, so I was like, "Yes."
Boy, hush up your mouth. I'll say it instead. All right. So, obviously you do music. Now, what's actually, before we actually get into the talk about web series, I just want to talk about this whole Talisa thing because like that seems to be all over the online now. It's like the #1 trend on Yahoo from what I looked at earlier before I came here. It's all up in the papers. Tell me, what on earth is going on with this girl?
Basically, from what I've gathered, I've seen the footage where they're recording her talking, giving up loads of information that she doesn't need to about her links in the industry to certain illegal activities. And basically then the video goes over to an artist by the name of Mike. That's all I call him. I'm sure everyone else knows who he is, but I'm not snitching. That's not my thing, innit? So yeah, his name's Mike, and you basically see the video footage of him stepping into a room and handing over what looks like allegedly is a controlled substance.
a controlled substance. You couldn't actually say the name of what it actually is.
I know it's a kids show, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no, not really. We got like people from the age of 15 all the way up to 30 on Break London.
Okay, it was Coke. Coca-Cola.
Oh, there it is. Oh, he's done it now. Now, what you have to understand is, like, with Talisa, I don't know her personally. I have been in front of her before, like starring on The Cut for BBC. But what I have to say is, like, you know, she's doing well with herself. You know, she had the whole X Factor thing. She had like some clothing range, a perfume as well, and then there's some next stuff going on with this girl.
Yeah, well, hey man, everyone's got their ups and downs. Her downs just happen to be on the internet, available to everybody.
Literally, I mean, let's not even talk about the first major madness that went on with her.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on. Okay.
What did you think about Talisa when you met her?
Well, she didn't say a word to me. She was just silent. But the other dudes, Dappy and was it Freezer?
Was it?
Was it?
Like, my belly hungry.
Boy, no, I'm hungry, but you know what I mean? My belly hungry.
It was Nappy and Fraser.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they were cool, man. They were listening to my beats and stuff, and they were like bopping their heads and stuff, so it was all good.
Yeah.
So moving on, right? Web series. Let's talk about web series. Right now, I'm gonna ask you, what makes a good web series?
Personally, for me, it's got to be dynamic. It's got to be entertaining. It's got to have some sort of plot. That's just anything in life, really. With me, I like to see something with a message, something that means something to somebody, even if it's, you know what I mean, even if it's not particularly to me. As long as it means something to somebody, I guess I can watch it from their perspective and learn something. That's what I want to do. I want to learn something from something. So
so kind of like my show, All About the Mackenzies.
All About the Mackenzies is a very good example of that.
And guess what? Knux actually stars in All About the Mackenzies.
Whoa. I wouldn't say star, I say feature.
Oh yeah. Why don't you just sell yourself short? Why don't you?
Because I'm trying to get a main role. That's what
I'm not finished yet.
Hey, I'm talking. This is my show. This is my show. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, Knux does have a role in it. He's a bully. He's a bully, and he's got a few lines. But guess what? If you're watching the show, don't blink or you will miss him. Don't blink. Okay.
Damn one.
But you know what? He had a good role. You know, he's lucky. He didn't even need to audition. I just knew his personality, and I said, you know what? I know this guy can do it. And you know what? He did a good job, man. He did a good job.
I can bully people. Thanks.
Yeah, he had to bully the main character, Andre Mackenzie. But anyway, what we're gonna do, we are gonna talk more about web series. But right now, Knux, who MCs, is going to basically we're gonna listen to one of his songs now. It's called My Life. So here we go.
This is exclusive.
Welcome to my life. See the world through the lines that I write. We've never seen or spoke, but it just feels like the time's right. Looking forward, sometimes I think about hindsight. Let's take a journey, close your eyes. We don't need no eyesight. My life, my struggle, my pain, my hustle. Back in the day I was called knuckles, got caught up in a few scuffles. Nowadays I think smarter, play hard but work harder. Mum worked, had no father like Mary J, don't want no drama. Two older brothers who guided me, reminded me what was inside of me. And no matter what, they had time for me, so I paid them back with every rhyme I speak. Do this for them and their kids too. I'm a girl who stuck by my side no matter what we've been through. Sometimes I might get selfish, please bear with me. I was destined for greatness, hard times preparing me. Gotta face my demons, move on, but the pressure's feeling too strong, too long. But there's so many haters on my list that I gotta prove wrong. It's about time, I should've really done this ages ago, cause I had bare bars and I had bare flows way before page you go. But now I'm on track, got minutes, don't need no contract. Sick lyrics combined to make strong tracks, so I don't need phones to make contact. My life, see the world through the lines that I write. We've never seen or spoke, but it just feels like the time's right. Looking forward, sometimes I think about hindsight. Let's take a journey, close your eyes. We don't need no eyesight. My life, see the world through the lines that I write. We've never seen or spoke, but it just feels like the time's right. Looking forward, sometimes I think about hindsight. Let's take a journey, close your eyes. We don't need no eyesight. Last year was a mad year. Went places I thought I would never be. Met people I thought I would never see. Amongst those that I built up a legacy. From an interview with Big Boy, got a shout out from Wiley. Cracked a few jokes with Ludacris. Had a convo with Styles P. Now I'm not trying to name drop, I'm just showing you how my life's been. Had no way to exhale, so I had to get back to my writing. Shout out to the crew around me. Without you, there'd be no me. I've seen what the game can do to a man, cause the top can be so lonely. Paid my dues to the game, I think it's time to break even. Come out and living that cold life, start getting that 5-star treatment. Cause it's hard times, make a man just wanna escape to a next place. But Knux ain't never gonna quit, gonna put work in until my death day. Yeah, that's how focused the man is trying to get. Been through trial and error, but all my trials I will not regret. Through all the pain, all the blood, and even all the sweat. Now you've seen the world through my eyes, I hope you won't forget my life. See the world through the lines that I write. We've never seen or spoke, but it just feels like the time's right. Looking forward, sometimes I think about hindsight. Let's take a journey, close your eyes. We don't need no eyesight. My life.
So yes, that was Knux with My Life, and yeah, we'd like to know you guys' feedback on that. So why don't you just hit us up on Facebook and Twitter at Break London. So for those of you who have just tuned in, my name is Samuell Benta. You are on the Samuell Benta Show here with Break London, and I am here with the talented Knux with a K, by the way. And we're not talking about the guy with Sonic the Hedgehog either. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that one out.
Actually, you aren't.
Right, okay, fair enough. So, yeah, basically, Knux is a good friend of mine. He has a company called Nu-Killa Entertainment. He's basically looking to promote up-and-coming artists. He's got his own studio. He's from West London. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, he's basically looking to mash up the ting. And that we've got more songs coming with Knux anyway. Yeah. So just stay tuned and you'll be able to listen to some more of that anyway. So, like I said, for those of you who are tuned in, we are going to be talking about web series now. They are growing rapidly, majorly, and we are going to talk a bit about it a bit more. So, Knux, tell me, why do you think there is such an increase in all these web series? What's going on?
Basically, I think that the youth, this generation of youth, have taken it upon themselves to not allow mainstream to dictate what they watch, and they've taken it upon themselves to actually make content that will entertain their peers the same way, or maybe even more than shows, for instance, on BBC, or shows that maybe where they've lost contact with the generation at the time. Yeah. So I reckon a lot of comedy-based web series that are taken over primarily because you don't get that kind of entertainment and that kind of content on your Sky TV or your terrestrial TV. So that's predominantly why I think, and because everyone's got a camera as well, and the equipment's just got way cheaper. Yeah. And yeah, just access to equipment and resources and knowledge, and you've got your show, so people can watch your show now and take that on board. Yes. Oh yeah, you've done your thing. Oh, maybe it's possible for me to do it. Whereas like, maybe 5 years ago that wasn't possible. Yeah. So yeah, that's the main reasons why I think. Yeah.
I mean, I just want to piggyback on top of that actually, because when I say web series is rapidly increasing, I mean I'm specifically talking about a lot of web series, black web series from like young black actors. Now, I mean, I'm a young black actor myself. Just a bit of knowledge to everyone. I've starred in EastEnders E20. I've been in The Cut. I was also on Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Yes, I was the first British black Power Ranger. Just thought I'd throw that one out there.
What did you have to say when you was morphing?
Let's not even talk about
that.
You heard? That's not.
Have you heard?
Hey,
shut up, man! I'm not finished yet.
Have you heard about the new Power Ranger reunion?
Yes, I know. I was basically invited to come back for that, but I didn't get invited in a way because of their budget or something.
That's cool. As long as you keep it real.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it real. It would have been nice to go back out to New Zealand again, though. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, yes, with a lot of these black web series, you can catch them all up on YouTube. I'm going to list a lot of them. Well, actually, only 10. I'm going to list them shortly. But basically, a lot of these, I personally think there is a voice crying out to be heard. Because you have to admit, with what you said about the young generation, you have to admit, like back in 2003, like all the way back then, I mean, we we had Trouble TV, which was basically like shut down.
Yeah.
And you know, for those of you who don't know about Trouble TV, or maybe even still remember Trouble TV, like that had like everything on there. That had Fresh Prince, that had Cosby Show, Sister
In the House.
Yeah, In the House, Moesha, the Wayans brothers, you have to admit there was so much great black web series comedy that was there for us to be entertained. And when they took that away, it was like, what are we left with? I mean, what did we have? Now, I've said this here on Break London before when I was being interviewed by Trevor on his Home Truths not long ago, actually, and I was basically saying that because like Trouble TV was axed, it was like, what do we have that shows our faces as black British people instead of it always being black American people? And it's like, what do we do with that? I mean, that's what made me create.
We had Crime Watch. If you wanted to see any young black person on TV, Crime Watch, bro.
Holy Egypt!
It's real talk, though. It's real talk.
No, I mean, no, you have to admit, but I'll just to break an illusion to all of you listening, Crime Watch is not real, guys. Agents actually call up our actors, and we audition to be in Crime Watch. I mean, my agent back in the day called me up about an audition for Crime Watch, and I said, you must be having a laugh, mate. I'm just not going to be doing anything like that, because people actually believe what they see, and if they see you in Crime Watch, people will be thinking, oh yeah, this guy committed a crime. People don't realize consequences of doing certain things, and this was actually building up my frustration. It was these kind of things that I was being put up for, and it just made me think, like, with black people as a whole, we're only seen as the guy on road, or the guy on the estate, or the guy selling the drugs, blah 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 blah. And just to throw this one out there, Talisa's a white girl, and she's now in the frame for some of that stuff. But
like my belly hungry, you see?
Boy, my belly hungry, you know. Anyway, but just coming back to that, I mean, you have to think, I think this is our time now. Our time to actually step up, say what we got to say, come out with the stories that we got to come out with. Because the thing is, with a lot of these networks, they want to water down what we've got or take out this and that. And guess what? You're then left with a result of something that's completely different from what was intended in the first place, and then you get ridiculed for what is there.
The message gets diluted.
Yeah, message gets diluted, which is actually, well, let's not even talk about certain things because that's a totally different time, but it will be on this show right here at Break London. But I'll tell you this right now.
Whatever you want, call it.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever I'm calling it right now, I'm telling you now that there is information that is being condensed. There's information that is not being fed to us, and I strongly believe we need to find the information and empower ourselves and just go out there and do what we have to do. I mean, Knux, what have you got to say about that?
In terms of what we're not being told, I fully agree with you. There is a lot of things that prior to meeting my other half, I had no clue about. I believed that the world was in a certain way and that you had to go and make money, get your car, you know what I mean, go to uni, and then, you know what I mean, you live your life working for someone else. But I wasn't ever shown that you can do whatever you really want to do, and the opportunities that are out there that may be hidden in plain view.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like when I was like back in school, like I had certain teachers talk about, if I go down the road of music or acting, you know, there's only, you know, you'd have to really be lucky to make it. You know, you should do this, blah 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 blah. And I think that's just complete nonsense now. But back then, without me, I actually thought that was true back then. I actually thought that was true. That's what sidetracked me from what I loved doing. That's why I was thinking of when I left left school, I was thinking, what am I gonna do? Like, I was thinking, I should do a certain subject that I think would be valued, because you have to understand, subjects like dance and drama, they are just not really valued in schools. They're like at the bottom of the hierarchy, and that's what I was talking about in episode 4 of All About the Mackenzies. I was basically talking about how the system does not value the arts as much as it should be, and I think academics and literacy is the right word to use. Literacy and art should be considered the same status.
But I've got a question for you now, right?
All right.
You see how you just said that art, like the arts are not valued, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't you think that's a direct, like, if you look at how Hollywood is perceived and celebrities are perceived because they're actors, and some of them don't even have talent, but they're glorified and made into role models and stuff like that. Like, do you think there's a direct correlation between them lessening the arts and the drama facilities or resources at schools and the way they've kind of blown this whole Hollywood thing out of proportion, and now George Clooney is like God and all these other people are just gods, like red carpets, you can't touch them, you can't talk to them, they're higher than you, but for someone who wants to learn how to express themselves, it's seen as a kind of, you know what I mean, like a derogatory, like he's wasting his time basically, like you were saying.
Oh, man went in with that one, boy. Well, my response to that is basically this whole thing about red carpet and this actor being a certain god or whatever. Well, from this point of view, you have to look at it like this. Wherever we are at with what we're doing, for example, with our web series, I think we're doing something completely great, because you have to understand, it's online. The whole world has access to it. Everyone's starting to talk about it. It's growing. What we're focusing on is actually expanding. So there's a ceiling that's going to be like lifted very, 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 very soon. I can feel it. And I think what we should be doing now is more celebrating what we currently have with all these web series and really just going all out. I mean, obviously, I will talk a bit later about like technicalities and stuff like that. Just my personal advice to people who are thinking of doing certain web series. But yeah, I definitely think that we literally are what we think we are, basically. Don't let all these big boy actors like make you feel inferior.
And the illusions that's going on, because there's a lot of illusions and CGI. I'm not talking about in the movies, I'm talking about just in life. Like, people will tell you what is possible and what's not possible, and that's their illusion, in it. But don't let that illusion affect your life. That's what I would have to say.
Yeah, that's a very strong message, man. But listen, Knux, man, what we're going to do is we are going to play another one of your tracks, this one is called The City.
You want me to explain?
Yeah. Well,
I'll explain it after.
Oh yeah, explain it after this. Tell us what you think of this. At Break London, tweet us, Facebook page. Let us know what you think.
And they open the door. Let me see the party. Let me see like they throwing salami all over the. I mean, just like throwing food around. They're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day, I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is gonna change to we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, you know, give me all the food, ringing out the door. And after a year, then you just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. So now what do you think we're gonna do?
K to the N-U-X. Like game, I'm repping that west side. Most unknown, but the best side. From day up, been on the next vibe, on the next wave. Even though some wanna escape, try to say west is dead weight. So I had to make this dead straight. We ain't dead, mate. It's about time. Had to holler the soldiers. Didn't have any orders. Had to put west on my shoulders. Had their time, but enough's enough. Waiting for them, it's up to us. Extinction level like Buster Bust, so it's
ashes to ashes and dust to dust, yeah.
Like we got left behind, but it's only right that we're the next in line. We're the last motherfucker. Respect the rhyme, respect the beat, respect the flow. I'm tired of saying we're the next to blow. It's West in this, better get to know you don't like it. Don't say I didn't warn ya. I rep that West to the death, but I ain't 2-pack and this ain't California. Listen to the rhymes written, something you couldn't even try spitting. No time for you to cry victim, a change is coming and time's ticking, yeah. we can't wait no more now. Think it's time that we break the door down. Let these haters hate some more now. You've had your turn, but now it's ours, so now we're taking your ground. You're feeling pissed, but the drive resist, I guess we'll take you all out. Cause we can't wait no more now. Think it's time that we break the door down. Let these haters hate some more now. You've had your turn, but now it's ours, so now we're taking your ground. You're feeling pissed, but the drive resist, I guess we'll take you all out.
Coming up, I lost some of my hair from stress. Then worries got laid to rest. Was thinking less and doing more hardcore for the cause. Kill a whole group like a holocaust if need be. Something like air, how they need me. Spent a whole year where we gave you shit with no charge.
Don't ask for a freebie.
Getting daps in the ends, brothers hit us up like, why you ain't made it? What the fuck is up like? This ain't overnight, is what we're telling them. How you think my rap became president? Patience is a virtue, so I don't go out like a curfew. My favourite place is the booth, so I feed you the truth just to see what my words do. Enthusiasm will curb you, to make it stand bigger than a lurch do. Divided we fall, but together with our thoughts we can all make the earth move. Played with fire and it hurt you. I'm looking at things from a world view. Something as small as the place that we're living. Until we unite, can't say that we're winning. Charlie Sheen in it, T for the beast, I've been in it. So when I say I bleed for the people, believe I mean in it. I only wish to give back, so I strive to make an impact. Keep my integrity intact, and in fact tracks get snapped.
Cause we can't wait no more now. Think it's time that we break the door down. Let these haters hate some more now. You've had your turn, but now it's ours, so now we're taking your ground. You're feeling pissed, but the drive
Yes, that was Knux with The City.
Featuring Terror Bliss.
Featuring Terror Bliss. For those of you that have just joined, this is the Samuell Benta Show. I am Samuell Benta, and this is Break London. Hit us up on Facebook, Break London, Twitter at Break London. Now, I have with me a talented individual called Knux. He is an MC, he's a music producer, he owns a company called Nu-Killa Entertainment, and that was his track you've just heard called The City. Do you want to elaborate a bit more on what that track was actually saying?
Alright, basically that was like the first track that I've actually put out with the video and everything, and basically the message behind the track, because I always aim to make music with some sort of message in it, right? The message behind the track was that West London, in terms of the urban music culture, hasn't had their shine yet in the music industry. Like even in the underground, like you've had your East London grime scene, you've had your South London with your gigs and you know what I mean, like your semi-trap stuff going down there. Even North London, you've had your Skeptas, your Boy Better Knows, your Black the Rippers, but no one is really, maybe Screwfizz is popping in West, but like besides that, and Rattling, got a shout out Rattling. There's a couple other guys as well. I think Beluga Ice and TE. They're doing their thing, but there's no solidarity. So I thought, you know what? I haven't heard anyone put out a statement that about West London that's just direct. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to be the first to do it. And if someone else has done it, I'm sorry I ain't heard it, but I feel like, you know what? If I haven't heard it and I live in West, then there's an issue going on. So I need to put it
Whatever you want, call it.
There we go. So I need to put my message out, and then hopefully it'll wake some people up. And it's not even like I've got anything against South, East, North. It's not that. It's more like I'm trying to let people in West know, like, don't be ashamed to rep where you're coming from, and you know what I mean, just represent what you're saying. I'm not saying just represent West London, it's not that. Like, obviously represent the earth if you have to, but just there's a lot of people in West that are a bit shy, put it that way.
Everything crisp all the time.
Yeah, everything is crisp, boy. I mean, once again, this links back to what I was saying on Trevor's show for his Home Truths a couple of weeks ago. It really is this thing about fear, and it's like, it really does take that one person in one area to make it, to really liberate others and inspire others. I mean, look at East London. You got all these artists from East London coming out with their stuff, and it's kind of like what's happening to other areas. But I mean, you got to give thanks back in the day to people like So Solid Crew, Oxide and Neutrino, who kind of opened this whole thing. They opened this whole kind of generation of all these artists coming out now. I mean, back in the day, we had British rappers rapping in an American accent, man. I mean, we was talking about that before we actually came up in here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And the worst one is that the Americans that listen to that type of hip-hop, right? No, so not that type of hip-hop, but if they listen to something that comes from Britain and it's got a British package label on it, and then they hear this British artist trying to copy the American twang or the American way of saying stuff, it's going to lose even more disrespect, and then the whole of the UK is going to lose credibility.
Preach, boy. Preach that one right there. Okay. Yeah, for those of you who just joined in, this is Samuell Benta Show on Break London. I'm here with the talented Knux, who owns Nu-Killa Entertainment. By the way, for those of you who are looking for studio time music videos, this is your guy. Check him out on YouTube. Check him out on his Twitter. Do you want to give away your Twitter and YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube is www.youtube.com/Nu-Killa Vision. That's NUKILLA Vision, all one word. The Twitter is NU_KILLA_ENT. So Nu-Killa ENT. Facebook, Knux Nu-Killa or Nu-Killa Entertainment.
Okay, excellent. Right, so basically our subject today was kind of gone a bit mixed now from what we've been talking about, but it was actually web series, still is. I'm just going to promote a few web series that are out there. For those of you who are unaware of web series and what they are, it's basically like a television series but shortened down to a few minutes per episode online, most probably on YouTube. Now, there is one web series which is currently being filmed. It's called Encounters by the Miller Brothers. Now, Encounters is a story based on the lives of 7 young adults living in London. They all live different lives, different paths. However, the decisions they make, consequences they have on each other during the series. And at its climax, there's a police raid. Everyone's questioned regarding their involvement in the crime. Some walk free, some won't. The question is, who? Now, castings have already taken place for all of this, so we'll just wait and see what happens with it. And if that's new to some of you lot, tough, because I promoted their casting all over my Twitter numerous times, even on my Facebook. So if you missed out, you missed out. So they're yet to come. Unfamous, that is a web series. This is quite new. 2 episodes has gone out on YouTube. That is a new British teen web series based on the Unfamous books by Scotty. This series is very new. It only started about, well, there's only two weeks has kind of gone into that, really. I just want to talk a bit about that series, actually. I was at their launch a couple of weeks ago, and it was packed out. I'd say there was over 200 people there. It was at the Regent Street Cinema, and I would definitely say that I'm very inspired because they made their whole web series on £30. £30. Now, to a lot of you out there who are saying to me, it's going to take too much money to make that. Oh, I don't have the money. Blah, blah, blah. These people have made it on £30, and don't tell me you don't have £30, because I'm telling you now, if you cut off a few of your Starbucks and cigarettes, I'm telling you, you've got some money, yeah, to go out there and go and make some web series.
Holy Egypt!
Yeah, that Holy Egypt. Done right. Andre even said it himself. So there really is no excuse, London. Whoever's listening to this, I'm telling you now, you were meant to be listening to this message because there's no accidents in the universe. You can actually go out and make some sort of web series. So, just moving on, there's another web series called The WW Show. Now, this is a web series talking about web series, and it's hosted by Mango and Lashes. They talk about all the latest, hottest web series. So if you want to know what's going on, check them out on YouTube. They're all on YouTube. Now, here's one of my favorites, Venus versus Mars. Now, a lot of you girls may know a lot about this one because I'd say it's more tailored towards the females. This is a web series about a girl called Venus who is on her quest on finding true love. Knux, I just want to ask you something. What's your take on men are from Mars and women are from Venus? Explain that to me.
My take on it is basically someone sat down and said to themselves, all right, I'm going to try and further divide men and women and tell them that they're from different planets except the planet that we're on. Right? It's impossible for them to be from. I get the metaphor, you know what I mean, that we're from 2 totally different places, and yeah, men and women do have their differences, and that's probably the whole point of why they're men and women. If everybody was the same, it would be kind of boring. So
whatever you want, call it.
Yeah, in regardless to Venus versus, say men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Like, I do see where they're trying to go with it and everything, but I just think it's another form of divide and conquer that we just don't need.
Ooh, boy. Well, I mean, that's definitely controversial. And I mean, if you look at society today, especially like with an increase of single parent families, now tell me, what is the situation going on with men and women today? And this is the stuff they don't really want to be talking about, you know, but you will only find it on the Samuell Benta Show on Break London.
My belly hungry, you see?
Yeah, my belly hungry, but guess what? We're not talking about food, we're talking about information. I'm hungry for information, and that's what we really lack. So let's not even talk about, do we have other life forms on other planets? Because we're talking about men are from Mars and women are from Venus. So who lives on planet Earth? But more importantly, are there life forms on any other planets? But you know what? That's going to be another session, guys. That's going to be another session. Let's not even get into that one. I've got someone else who I am going to be interviewing, talking about that on a later show. Anyway, Venus vs. Mars, successful first series. Series 2 is currently being filmed, scheduled to be released. Also, their first series is going to be broadcast on TV on Sky 539, Virgin Media 233, and on Freeview 87 on June the 15th at 9 p.m. and the 20th of July at 10 p.m. Just moving on, there's another web series called Breach Drama. Now, this is a web series that started off as a magazine. Breach is a family TV drama series portraying the lives of young adults from African and Caribbean origins in Europe, mostly based in UK. The director and writer is French, and the show is in French subtitles, which I think is very, very smart, especially if it's going on YouTube, because then that's just now speaking to a whole different audience. Moving on to another web series, A Cup of Tea. This is a comedy sketch show with the Don't Jealous Me guy, Tolu. Now, the thing is, yeah.
He's a serious guy. He's funny.
Nah, hold on. The thing is, with this web series, that I have to admit, I can't really define this show, as there's so much going on, and one person plays multiple characters and plays out different scenarios. I mean,
it's more like a sketch show, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess that kind of justifies that. I mean, with me, I'm all about story. I'm all about where's this going. I mean, do you know what I mean? I'm all about the message. But anyway, just moving on. Now,
everything Chris all the time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Whatever the situation, everything Chris, because everything's all good. Another web series. A lot of you might actually know about this one. Actually, No ID Online. It is based in. Well, actually, it's not just based on East London. It's all over London, and it's about 5 young people from London going through everyday things. That isn't urban. I personally disagree with that, though. But they got 2 series online. They're working on a 3rd. But what I love about this show is the fact that it's not all black people. It's quite diverse with all of their actors. Another web series, Circle of Revenge, which kind of speaks for itself. This is an online series dealing with revenge and its far-reaching consequences. They don't have a second series, but here's the difference. They do have a movie. This web series probably more nearer the likeliness of kidulthood, but more violent if you actually watch it. I would say it's pretty over-exaggerated. I mean, if you think about that one day, that movie, like, I would say that was proper over-exaggerated. Everyone's all like running around, proper having an Uzi up on the. I don't really think that's really going down. But then again, I guess it depends on whatever people are thinking, because that does determine what reality they actually live in. Maybe I haven't seen it. So hey, holy Egypt, man! It's all in the Egypt. But I'm not gonna lie, I love the direction and I love the camera work. So big up on BHM Films. And the last series I will mention, which I watched the other day, is called Dear Jesus. That's a series that follows a young girl called Mercedes, a young fashion journalist whose life is thrown into disarray, finds Selassie, is that the right word? If you think about the James Bond Quantum of Selassie. She finds Selassie in her prayers, which she writes down in her laptop. So, yeah. So those are a few web series that I am basically promoting. I'm putting it out there because what we tend to lack, especially in the black community, is mutual support. That is where I think we are actually going wrong. Now, you have to think, USA and UK, which I'm sure you will agree with, Knux, we operate completely differently.
Oh, we're years behind.
We are so behind from America, and you have to admit, we always shadow America. That's not even a lie. You have to admit it. Fashion sense, music sense, even the shows we come out with, it kind of shadows what we have seen from them. Because you have to admit, for the UK, what have we seen that is British other than Desmond's, Brothers and Sisters? Oh, by the way, Brothers and Sisters, type that online, you won't find it. It's like it never existed. So explain the phenomena behind that one. I done my research. Go check it out. In fact, if you do find something, please tweet us at Break London, Facebook us, because you know what? I'll have something for you. I'll email you a present if you actually. No. It will be something more interesting. But just hit us up on Twitter and Facebook here at Break London, because I'm curious to know why that isn't even on IMDb.
Holy Egypt!
Now, let's not talk about control and manipulation. That's a whole different subject that we will be talking about right here on the Samuell Benta Show here at Break London. You enjoying yourself, Knux? You know what? I'm enjoying myself. You know what? I have to show some gratitude right now. I have to step out of the show for a sec. I have to just step out, because you know what? I did not know that I would be sitting here in Break London Studios actually having like my own little 60-minute show to talk about what I want to talk about, just to share with you listeners right now. So I have to thank Trevor Blackman here with 8 Media at Break London, because I've got so much gratitude and love for the guy and the company, because it's a good feeling just sitting here being able to air this, because for ages I've been frustrated, sitting down, thinking to myself, how the hell am I going to get out there and say what I need to say? You know, I mean, YouTube, yeah, great, we can put on a show, but to actually just speak and just say what I gotta say, I mean, I'm grateful right now.
You don't
feel like you've been like told, oh, you have to stick to this guideline, or you can only talk about these subjects. You're kind of free.
Yeah.
That's probably what everyone's searching for. You know, a bit of freedom out here.
Well, I mean, like I said, we're gonna be talking about freedom and mind control, manipulation, all that. We will come to that in another. In fact, do you know what? I think this is gonna be a packed out studio, because we got quite a few people that's going to want a few things to say on that. I especially want to talk to you about the whole legalese thing.
Holy Egypt!
We got to be careful here. No, I don't need to be careful here. Actually, I don't need to be careful, because I have to think. If I need to be careful, what am I scared of? Do you know what I mean? Just standard. As long as I'm not swearing, I can say anything I want to say. Okay? Fine. Don't get me started.
Grapefruit.
But you know what? I've been talking a bit too much. Let's go on to another track with you, Knux. This is going to be Hush Your Beacon. Hold on. Before we actually play Hush Your Beacon, explain to me, what do you mean by Hush Your Beacon? Because I'm thinking it sounds like Hush Up Your Mouth.
Yeah. In fact, that is exactly what it is.
Is that what it means? Hush Up Your Mouth?
It means exactly what it says on the tin, mate. Hush your bacon, mate.
Hush up your mouth. Hush up your mouth.
Some people just be talking on the phone for way too long. You just got to tell them to hush their bacon.
Okay. Let's hear what you have to say with this track.
This ain't the migraine skank. No. This ain't the tribal skank. No. Nah, this a whole new skank. Oh. It's called the Hush Your Beacon.
This ain't the migraine skank. No. This ain't the tribal skank. No. Nah, this a whole new skank. Oh. And it's called Hush Your Beacon.
The club at the weekend saw this girl and she saw me, and we got close as we moved to the beat. And I knew from the way that she moved, she's a freak. So we moved to the street, moved to the crib, and she moved to her knees. Undid my zip and I whipped through the meat. Oh yeah. Suddenly she starts looking at me. What? Must have started chatting about how it could be. How I was sent by the powers that be. Must have been blind, but now I can see. She didn't stop chatting for an hour or free. With the nana and a little rare. I was like, there, I don't care. So hush your beacon, brush your teeth, and get your ass out of my yard.
Everybody put your left hand up. Everybody put your right hand up. Now put both hands in your mouth. I wanna see you hush your beacon. I wanna see you hush your beacon. I wanna see you hush your beacon. Sounds better when you're not speaking. I wanna see you hush your beacon. So I walk to the
work one day. Manager told me to walk this way. Into the office to take a seat. Said, okay, Knux, I'ma make this brief. Not really happy with your work this week. Thought to myself, this girl's got cheek. All she does here is sit there and eat. Even got a French fry stuck in her teeth. Oh, how I wish she could hush her beacon. Just stop speaking. Already had enough this evening. Or is it morning? Man, she boring. Why she snoring? Why am I caring? Got off my chair and started swearing. She got shook and started tearing. Ran after her and started screaming. Hush your beacon. Everybody put your left hand up. Everybody put your right hand up. And put both hands in your mouth. I wanna see you hush your beacon. I wanna see you hush your beacon. I wanna see you hush your beacon. Sounds better when you're not speaking. I wanna see you hush your beacon. This ain't the migraine skank. This ain't the tribal skank. No, this a whole new skank. It's called the hush your beacon. This ain't the migraine skank. No, this ain't the tribal skank. No, this a whole new skank. And it's called hush your beacon. Yo, bro. One bread tried to come and hate on Nu-Killa, bro. You know what I said to him? I said, hush your beacon.
Hey, I was playing Street Fighter with my boys. I pushed 4 down for a punch. He goes, hush your beacon.
And then one time my mum tried and tell me to wash the dishes. I was like, Mum, you know what you should do, right? Hush your beacon. Everybody put your left hand up. Everybody put your right hand up. And put both hands in your mouth. I wanna see you hush your beacon. I wanna see you hush your beacon. I wanna see you hush your beacon.
That was Knux with Hush Your Beacon, Hush Up Your Mouth.
Hush up your mouth and go on with yourself.
Now, thing is, we're running out of time with this show. This is the issue. I've got so much things to say to you guys, but you know what? I may even have to talk to these guys. We might have to have a longer show, you know. We might have to up it up to like 4 hours or something, man. I can talk for time. But anyway, for those of you that are out there looking to create some sort of web series and you don't know how, Raindance, for those of you that don't know what Raindance is, Raindance Film Festival, they got a 1-day course called Create and Market Your Web Series. Basically, they teach you how you can make a web series, why you're making a web series. They talk about planning and finance. They talk about marketing and community. However, there is a charge to this. I'm not going to say the charge, but I will redirect you to their website, which is www.raindance.org. So, for those of you who are looking to create and market your web series, you guys better get onto that and sort yourselves out and find out what it is that you can do to contribute and get your voice heard. And we've had enough of the suppression, the oppression, and everything that has ration in the word. Do you know what I mean? So, speaking of Raindance, there is actually, for those of you who may actually have a web series out now, who I may have mentioned or may not mentioned, there is a Raindance Web Fest, the 28th to the 29th of September. It's at the Apollo Cinema in London, Piccadilly Circus. Now, guys, this is a great achievement. You want to know why? It's the first independent UK web festival that is basically taking place. Submission is £20. Don't tell me you don't have £20, because you don't know you just bought some cigarettes, or you went and go buy something that is harmful to your body. I need not say what that
alcohol.
is. Yeah, well, yeah, we can say alcohol, but we know I'm not going to go and mention the other stuff. So, yeah, so it really is about motivation, guys. It really is about motivation. Now, this is my advice for people that want to start web series. Like I said, my web series is called All About The Mackenzies. It is a family comedy drama, doing very well online. We are in our 2nd series. Recently had my launch at the Rich Mix in Shoreditch. Very, very good. In fact, that's where I met Trevor from 8 Media here at Break London. So, yeah, hey, cause and effect. We'll talk about that more in depth in another show. But advice to people wanting to start web series. You know what? Short and sweet. Get started wherever you are. Don't talk about money. Let's not talk about money. Let's first of all just have an idea. Because guess what? Having an idea does not cost money. Writing it down on a piece of paper does not cost money. You can actually write that stuff down. You have to ask yourself, yeah? What do you want to say to the people? You could. I personally think that you can best write about what you know. Write about your life. Write about what someone else may be going through. If you don't have ideas, speak to some friends. They may have ideas. You might want to write a show about your friend. You know, You could, I don't know, start some sort of campaign, go to some schools, find out what certain students may be going through, write about that. And if you don't know how to write, that's nonsense, because I'm telling you now, All About the Mackenzies was pretty much the first thing that I wrote, and people can easily connect with it. I guess my advantage was acting on certain shows and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, I'm basically saying here live now that you guys can actually talk to me. I can help you out with this. You are not alone. I must shine the light for people to see that there is something that is of becoming here. You can find me on Twitter at sbenta, that's SBENTA, or you can go on allaboutthemackenzies.com, email me on there. I'll be happy to actually shine some light on the subject of web series. So yeah, why I made All About the Mackenzies is because it needed to be done. What I noticed was, when it was done, I started seeing other web series, and to me that was a blessing. I'm all about setting the trend, starting something. I'm all about expansion, because we need to expand, because if you're not expanding, you ain't growing. Now, for those of you that ain't growing, you need to ask yourself why. If you are literally sitting at home doing absolutely nothing, and you want to be a couch potato, and you want to sit with your friend who is the beans, the fries, and whatever, I ain't interested. You guys really need to wake up, because don't get me wrong, I totally understand why there may be lack of motivation. It's because you have not seen any inspiration. Well, if you're listening to this right now, I'm basically telling you this is the inspiration. I have to correct myself. This is the inspiration right now, because people, you have to admit, people need leaders. People need to be told what to do, because people ain't thinking, because we're not taught how to think. We're not taught how to think. When I started learning how to think, you know, I invested in some personal development books, teaching myself how to think. I went out and actually got this stuff done. Some of you might be in fear of, I don't know how to do this, or how is this going to happen? I might not. Forget that. You need to forget that. You don't need to know the whole way. You just need to get started. And I'm telling you, the way will come. The way will come if you have faith. If you have faith, you know, I'm telling you, you will see the evidence of the unseen. And then that will open a whole new outlook on life for all of you lot who are currently stuck.
Everything
I say this with love, because everything is Chris. I say this with love. Guys, this is no lie. I am a living testimony to the unseen, and I am definitely telling you now, you can go out there and make some sort of web series. I will be here in the studio talking with Brothers With No Game, who I have not mentioned. They are a hot web series. They won 6 awards out in the LA Web Festival, British web series. Check them out on YouTube as well. And in fact, web series in general has actually inspired me. I actually want to niche down this web festival and do an urban web festival. Why I say urban is because I have to look at the way we as black people predominantly are thinking in terms of lack of mutual support, and I want to provide that support, because I personally think I'm a leader when it comes to these web series. I definitely say that. I basically am looking to do something first week of July. I would call it more of an introduction and celebration to the growth of web series, Urban Web Fest. Celebrating the growth of web series, encouraging support for web series creators, bringing together urban talent wherever you are. I don't care if you're in West, East, South, North, wherever. I don't care. You can come down, get out of your head this nonsense about postcode territory. Do you know what? This is what really gets on my nerves. It's this way of thinking in terms of postcode territory. This is complete nonsense. Ooh, I'm from West. Ooh, I'm from South. No. Why don't you look at it like this? Hey, we're all from London. We're all from London. I don't care where you from. I don't care where on the compass you are. I really don't care, because we're from one city. Be grateful that we are the capital city of this country. We are the capital city. We're shining the light already, and we have to actually take that appreciation and gratitude, I might add, and we basically need to show the rest of the country, hey, guys, you can do this too. You might be in Manchester, you could be in Scotland, you know? This ain't just about black people. No, we are all the same in our own essence of what we really, really are, and that is love. There is lack of love. We are promoting all this revenge and fear. I remembered what I said to Trevor when I was basically doing the interview, and I said to him, how many billboard posters have you seen with a guy holding a gun with fear in his eyes? We are promoting fear way too much. The time has come now where we need to start showing something completely opposite, which is love. And we can do that for free online, guys. You know, we can do this if we do have the choice. A lot of people watching that Saw movie. There's what, six Saw movies? And you might say, oh yeah, oh great movie. There's a message behind that movie. There's a message of be grateful for life. But no one really picks up on that. They're just there to see, oh, I want to see how this guy dies. No! There's a message going through these movies to speak to you, your soul. And that is, be grateful for life. We need to evolve. We're already behind in evolution, personally. The only thing that's advancing is technology. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to wrap this up. Knux, you have been great to be on this show. You know, I'm grateful. Thank you for Break London for having me here. This is my first show. This is the Samuell Benta Show here on Break London. I'm going to be coming out with a new show. But Knux, is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, man, I just want to say thank you for having me. Like I said, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, make sure if you're listening to this, follow me at NU_KILLA_ENT. That's the official Twitter for Nu-Killa. And subscribe to the Nu-Killa YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Nu-Killa Vision, all one word, NUKILLA Vision.
Thanks, Knux. And I must say, guys, check out All About the Mackenzies, my web series, family comedy drama, doing very well online. If you want to see an example of what a great web series is, I strongly believe mine is. AllAboutTheMackenzies.com. You can also catch it on YouTube. In fact, it is on YouTube. Check it out, guys. I truly believe you will be inspired. If you have no ideas for what you want to do, I strongly believe watch that and you will start getting some ideas, because everything is energy. Knux, thanks for coming. I thank Break London for this first recording of this live show right now. I'm just going to finish off with Knux's other freestyle, and I just want to say peace to all of you lot and live in love. Thank you very much.
Coast
Bye.
to coast instrumentals.
Listen, I can't stop, so I'm back on my grizzly. Brothers rate the bars, but they wonder who is he. That brother from the west, stay amazing to the death. If you're gonna say something, then say it with your chest. They boast about the cars, I properly invest. Life's a board, I'm playing Monopoly and chess, so I'm looking for that checkmate. Praise every breath take, but I'm hard to find out that Nicki Minaj is. Can you relate to the facts I rap when I say this flipping rap race is a trap? The more hours you work, the more you get taxed. Time is money, so we have no time to relax. Make tracks with a message, just trying to stay blessed. Have to learn every day, cause every day I get tested. Got a degree, it's just a bit of paper. Got tuition fees, I gotta pay back later. Economy is effed up, poor have to pay though, while the rich fiddling money under the table. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to stay stable, hoping for the best, I don't think it's gonna change though. Oh, it's just my honest opinion. Chances of us making it is 1 in a million. No choice but to, so it's do or die now. Time will tell, guess you have to wait to find out. Find out.
Everything, Chris, all the time.
Holy Egypt!
On Twitter, Facebook, and online at Break London.
found out someone was fooling me, having a laugh at my expense. So I decided to teach them a lesson, one they would never forget. Just meant to teach them a lesson. I never meant to be a murderer. But that they said I am. I used to carry a knife, so I wouldn't look like a wimp. I know now there are worse things than that.
Knife crime. Use your brain, not a knife.
Getting your heart broken is something you often hear about in songs or read about in books. But it can happen for real. If you crash at 30 miles per hour without a seatbelt on, you'll hit the inside of the car, but your internal organs will keep traveling until they hit your ribcage. The impact can literally tear the main artery from your heart. So if you're not ready to have your heart broken, think. Always wear a seatbelt.